The Big Bang Theory stars Johnny Galecki, Jim Parsons, Kaylee Kyoku, Simon Helberg, Kunal Nayar, and is a great, friendly, relaxing sitcom. This show has been around for so long, I really wanted to just pay an homage to it. Now, this review is going to have a ton of spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, highly recommend you watch this show, especially if you're looking for great laughs and overall good vibe. I think what really separates this show apart from other shows is the characters. Now, I don't want to start comparing these sitcoms to who had the best characters, but I think what we can't argue is the writing for this show. These actors deserve so much praise for the amount of lines they have to remember.
In the winter, that seat is close enough to the radiator to remain warm and yet not so close as to cause perspiration. In the summer, it's directly in the path of a cross breeze created by opening windows there and there. It faces the television at an angle that is neither direct, thus discouraging conversation, nor so far wide as to create a parallax distortion. I could go on, but...
So as you guys know, the show kicks off with the guys donating sperm, and we get a lot of early laughs, and we get to know that the guys are kind of quirky, but they're definitely geniuses. The guys end up not going through with it though, and they end up back to their place where they find Penny. That's their new neighbor. She's unpacking with the door absolutely wide open for some reason. And already we get amazing humor with Sheldon and Leonard arguing if they should invite Penny in.
Should we have invited her for lunch?
No, we're going to start season 2 of Battlestar Galactica.
We already watched the season 2 DVDs.
Not with commentary.
And already the show is just super funny and relatable. The remaining cast is equally as funny and great at their roles. Howard is an engineer at Caltech, at the university they all work at. He's by far my favorite character. I thought he was super funny. He does magic, he plays in a band with Raj, ends up becoming an astronaut. He does all the super funny impressions. Raj is the foreign friend that everyone loves and every show needs to have. He's an astrophysicist at the university. Him and Howard are best friends throughout the entire show. They're always super funny together. Obviously makes for great comedy. He has a lot of girl issues and early on can't speak to girls, which makes for funny one-liners with Penny talking to him.
Hey, Raj.
Amy Farrah Fowler's name alone lets you know that she's dating Sheldon, and when they first meet, she's very robotic like Sheldon. So I know the show can seem way too overboard with having two Sheldon-type characters, but actually when her character gets more developed and she kind of has this really good friendship with Penny, it rubs off on her in a great, like, cool girl way, and it makes her way more of a compelling and likable character. Bernadette is really funny in the show. I didn't know that she changed her voice, so when I watched her in interviews, it was a little weird seeing her with more of like a manly voice. So I thought that was kind of funny, and props to her for having to stick that voice the entire show, all 12 seasons of them. She's overall a great character and is a great balance between Howie's Jewish comedy and Bernadette's like Catholic, like I don't get the joke, but I kind of do. Stuart owns the comic book store the guys go to every Wednesday for new comic book night. He's the friend who always gets last to get invited somewhere, but he's still really close with the guys, and even the girls. I really like what they did with Stuart later on in the show towards like the last half. Doesn't mean I didn't like the first half of him, it's just they give him way more to do later on in the show when he ends up living with Howard and his mom. Now the cameos in the show are amazing. We get Stephen Hawking, Will Wheaton from Star Trek, we get James Earl Jones as Darth Vader, and the whole scene while Sheldon's smiling as he asked if he's a Star Wars fan is truly amazing.
Let me guess. You like Star Wars.
It's awesome seeing everyone progress as the show goes on. The show's 12 seasons long, so it's cool seeing Howard going from a tease with the ladies to married with a kid, Penny getting a really nice job as a pharmaceutical rep, Amy and Sheldon getting more intimate as the seasons go on. Stuart's really an underrated character as the comic book store owner, and he definitely gets a lot more screen time towards the last half of the show.
Movie?
Yeah, I'd like to, but I'm a little tight on funds.
No problem. My treat. I'll swing by after work.
Okay.
Okay.
I could do worse.
It's honestly just a feel-good comedy that's just so relatable. They're able to do so much with so little, and it works great.
Play.
What are you doing?
Trying to use a Jedi mind trick to control Stephen Hawking.
I never really noticed small things that aren't answered or shown, especially like Howard's mom. She's a pretty big role in the show, but you never see her, it's just her voice. And just that alone creates her character so vividly.
Like I'm a fireman rescuing an infant.
Oh, please, you're a tall glass of brown water.
There's even a part where they're on the late night and the host was asking what's Penny's last name. And I remember just sitting there like, she has no last name, how did I freaking miss this?
Why
is it zipped? It's all over. Come
They're
on.
really,
You became
truly.
suspicious about it.
I did
after a
become.
while.
It became like a
Or,
weird
I'm
thing.
sorry,
There really is
superstitious.
no answer.
There's no answer.
And it's super funny when they go over stuff like that. Kind of really goes to show how self-aware the show is. It knows what it needs to do and it accomplishes it so great. It's only like 4 or 5 sets, and since it's filmed in the Warner Brothers studios, they're able to take advantage of all the props and all the fake towns they're able to make.
It's been a desert.
A casino, hotel
Planetarium,
rooms.
the wedding rooftop, International Space Station.
Do you remember when I asked you where the International Space Station was?
There's a great panning shot with all the cameras of all the in-house sets, and it's awesome how you get to see how compact the producers make everything. Even though the show is only a 6 or 7 main character cast, it's around a 70 people crew, so it kind of goes to show how much ingenuity goes into this show. Now I know a lot of people really hate on the show mainly because of the laugh track they put, but honestly after you hear it once or twice, it really adds something to the show, and you don't really notice it as much because if you don't know this, it's just like layered laughs. They already have a studio audience there with microphones, so everything's kind of just dubbed up with the. But honestly, after you hear it once or twice, you don't really notice it as much. Plus, I kind of like it. It's not all laugh track. They do have microphones in the studio, and they're able to overdub the audience's natural laughter, which is really cool. So it kind of makes it feel more organic. If you haven't watched it, definitely give it a chance. I really think you're gonna enjoy it. There's definitely a reason it was the top watched show in the country for a really long time. Now, like I said, guys, it's a 12-season show. There's still some stuff I definitely missed. I wish I could have talked about, but I really think I got everything I wanted to talk about. To everyone who watched this, thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed this so as much as I have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next week with a new video.